I went to a new city and made a new friend there for the first time in my life. It was something that I would not believe I could do it. Like before, 1 year ago, I would not even dare to think that I'm just going to walk up to someone and talk to the person for a while and eventually get a contact number before I leave. For me, I didn't believe I can do something like that. Right now, I feel that I did something amazing, even though like for others, it was probably just a very small thing, but for me, it was something incredible. Hopefully, it's better. Bro! I'm sorry, the light is like weird. But I'm just gonna quickly record this thing. So let's get to the first chapter. First chapter, I'm going to tell you how I met this new friend. So recently I went to Klang, a city in Malaysia, which is near to the town where I live. I went to a different school there for my national exam. For the first day, I went to the school for my Malay oral exam. I was quite nervous because I was not familiar with the place and I was not familiar with the people there. Everything was new to me. As I entered the school, I greeted the security guard there and asked them for the direction in order to go to an open space where there were students waiting there. As I walked through the corridor, I saw a student wearing a different uniform. Like it was not that school's uniform, it was from other school, so I knew that she was also a private candidate. Basically she was sitting under the gazebo. Without much hesitation, I just walked up to her and asked her like, okay, are you coming here for exam? So because I didn't know where to go, so I just asked that person and she told me to wait, with her. Basically she said she was quite nervous because her Malay was not very good. We talked for a while and then we were revising our notes. I also shared with her my notes. Yeah. And we just kind of like discussing about the topic together. I found out that she actually liked talking a lot. Like she is like the one person who can always have something to say in order to hold a conversation. Probably she's not doing this intentionally, but just very casually. But for me, I did it like very intentionally every single time when I talk something, especially that you talk to a stranger. Just be very intentional to about a topic or like the question I'm gonna ask, because I didn't do this thing enough. So that's why, based on this, I felt that she was probably more on the extroverted side. So I was like, oh, kind of cool. After a while, her friends from the same school as her came there for the exam as well. Then time was up, so we went for the exam. After that, she went back earlier. I didn't have a chance to talk to her. That's the end of the story. No, of course no. Alright, that's the next day. The next day, I went to the same school for the English oral exam. I met her by fate. And that morning, when I went to the school, right, it was raining. And on top of that, I arrived late. It's like slightly before the exam time starts. I was literally running in the rain with my jackets and also my backpack. I was so nervous. My heart was like pumping, but it was not that heavy rain. So, do you okay? When the moment I met her, I just chatted with her a bit because we chatted a bit about like the English speaking exam. Before we went in for the exam, I managed to ask her what's your name. I also introduced myself to her. A few days later, we had our written exam. I remember one of the days I had to arrive really early. I had to leave my house at 6 a.m. In order to go to the school for the exam. That day, I had to stay at the school from the morning till like 5 p.m. So it was like the whole long day. Because I had one exam in the morning and another in the afternoon. On that day, I arrived super early. I was like the first private candidate arrived at the school. About 15 minutes later, then somebody touched my back. I was like, who's that? And it was her. Oh yeah. And I was surprised and also happy to meet her again. Basically, we were going through our notes and kind of like revising before the exam start. Yeah, so she shared with me about the format for the karangan. I also shared with her one of my essays about the cyberbullying because she asked for that specific topic. Basically, we were just guessing what kind of topic would come out, but it was not cyberbullying anyway. After the first paper, we had like the whole 4 hours to wait for the second paper. While almost all other private candidates they went back. However, me, her, and also her friend, we stayed back at the school. And the reason I stayed back because I live quite far. I don't want to like go back and come again. It was like, it's going to be tiring. So anyway, I don't bother that. So we found a place to sit and study for our next exam. Yeah, so also we brought like something to eat for our lunch. It was a really long and hot 4 hours to pass. You don't know that the weather in Malaysia was hot as shit. Meanwhile, her friend walked to the nearby supermarket to buy something for herself to eat. So left me and her. Later, she wanted to go to the canteen to just buy something, so I accompanied her to go to the canteen. So we was like walking around school and found the canteen eventually, but then she was not sure what to eat, so she ended up calling a friend who was still in the supermarket to buy her something. Eventually went to the open space and just sit on the floor to continue revising our notes for the next exam. So later, the exam started. Honestly, I found the paper quite okay because like the topic was not that difficult. After the exam, we walked out the school. When we were walking towards the school gate, I just decided to ask her whether can I get her contact number, because this is probably like the best and only opportunity that I had to ask her for the contact number before I leave. And so she gave me her contact number. That means I successfully got to know a friend from Klang who I could contact and meet up with in the future. So let's go to the second chapter. So for the second chapter, I'm going to tell you about the things that I learned. I definitely learned something through this attempt and the past attempts that I had before. One main problem I encountered is that I found it hard to remember people's names. In order to make sure you remember their names, write it down on your phone when they tell you. I mean, not immediately right in front of them, of course. Just as you still remember the name, type it on your phone. So like later you can refer to it if you forget about it. Trust me, there's a very high probability that you're just going to forget the name if you don't write it down, because they just told you their names for the first and only time. I mean, you don't want to ask the person the second time. It's gonna be so embarrassing. They're going to ask, I forgot what's your name. Can you just tell me again? It's so embarrassing and kind of awkward, but honestly, if someone asked me to tell them again my name because they forgot, I'll just tell them again, because I mean, I understand why they forget my names. Yeah, because I tend to forget people's names, so I understand their situations. Yeah. Next, why it is good to get a contact number. First, the people must be someone who you want to socialize with in the future. If not, why get a contact number? There's no point. The main reason that I got her contact number is that when I go to Klang again for the next time, I can call her up and we can meet up, like have tea together. Isn't that going to be fun, bro? The best thing is that when you go to this place again, at least you have someone there who you know. So you feel more reassured and you're not so scared. You know, my dad told me this before, even though it was probably not something great, but it was just very cool, right? When you go to that city, you can ask the friends, like, what's the famous food here? You know, what is the places to visit? Things like that. When that friend comes to my town, I can also share with her about the delicious foods, about like the interesting things to do in my town. Isn't that a win-win situation? Okay, to sum this chapter up, type their name in your phone when they first tell you, and also get their contact number if you want to socialize with them in the future. Let's get to the chapter 3, which is about my future plan. Honestly, I plan to get to know more people, like different people from different places, and also find a way to contact them. I'm going on a trip soon in December, like this month. That's going to be great opportunity for me to meet new people and make new friends, get to know more people. And so I'll definitely tell you whether I socialize or not when I go for the trip. I will definitely see me making promise. Okay, I'll definitely comment down below this video whether did I get to know new people. I'm gonna tell you at the end of this week, which is like Sunday before the 12 midnight. I will comment down here below this video. I'll either say like, yay, I did it, or I'll say, oh, sadly, I didn't make it. That's everything for this video. And so bye bye. I'll see you in the next video. Go. 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 Oh. Go. Did you get it? Okay, go. I'm not supposed to sing this. Bye. Bye.